Hi guys! If you are thinking about booking an EF Ultimate Break trip or you're already booked on one, you're in the right place. I'm Emily and today I'm going to be answering your EF Ultimate Break frequently asked questions. Roll the tapes! The first question that is always asked, and I even asked myself before I went on my first trip, is EF Ultimate Break legit? And yes. So I am a brand ambassador with EF Ultimate Break and a group leader with EF Ultimate Break. But before I was any of those things, I had already gone on 3 EF Ultimate Break trips. And since then, I've gone on 2 more and I have 7 more booked. So I would not be putting my money where my mouth is if EF Ultimate Break was not a legitimate company. EF Ultimate Break is like a sub branch of EF, which stands for Education First. They're a company that's been around for a really long time. They do different study abroad trips for older people. They have a lot of different branches. So yes, they are a legit company. I've had nothing but good experiences with them. What can I expect on my trip with EF Ultimate Break? Well, EF Ultimate Break is a group travel company for people aged 18 to 35. So you're gonna be traveling with a bunch of people who are interested in going to the same place that you're going, who are also your age. I have had groups as small as 15 and groups as large as 43, but keep in mind, I am a teacher and I can really only travel during peak travel times, and I have only been on really popular trips with them. So with that being said, it's just going to vary greatly. EF Ultimate Break is going to do the heavy lifting for you. They are going to plan out your trip entirely. You are going to have a tour director that is there every single step of the way. And that's what I love about EF Ultimate Break, is that you really just get to show up. So some things that are included on your tour include round trip airfare, transportation to and from the airport upon arrival and departure, your accommodations, transportation within the cities, transportations between the cities, an expert tour director, local guides, guided tours, and entry into different attractions. I think that it's a really good balance as well of free time versus planned activities. I was a little bit worried that I would feel babied on an EF Ultimate Break trip, but at the end of the day, there's a ton of freedom, everything is optional, and no one is going to essentially baby you or hold you to the itinerary on these trips. The next question is my favorite. I always get asked this: how do you afford to travel so much with EF Ultimate Break? The truth of the matter is that I'm a teacher, so that salary is not looking super great. And so what really helps me to be able to afford to travel with EF Ultimate Break are their affordable payment plans. Basically, to book a trip with EF Ultimate Break, you only need $150 to put down, and then you can make bi-weekly or monthly payments, and you kind of choose when they start and can play with the payment plans. They are interest-free and they do not affect your credit. There is no credit application. This is entirely through EF. And so because of that, I don't have to pay a bunch of money upfront for a flight or hotels or anything like that. And I like to book my trips as far out as humanly possible so that those payments are super low and that I can afford them. Also, if you are not booking with a promo code with EF Ultimate Break, then you are doing it wrong, because there is a promo code available for you, regardless of your situation, 365 days of the year. Luckily for you, I have one. So if it's your first ever trip with EF Ultimate Break, you can use the link in the description to book. That link will activate and apply the code UAEmilya100 and give you $100 off your first trip. If you've already been on an EF Ultimate Break trip, you can use the code REPEAT, and depending on how many trips you've been on, it will take anywhere from $100 to $300 off your trip. Now, the promo codes with EF Ultimate Break do stack with any sales. EF Ultimate Break has 3 big sales during the year: the 2 semi-annual sales and the Black Friday sale. However, they are always seeming to run smaller sales throughout the year at any given time. I will say that promo codes, again, they do stack with sales. And another really cool thing is the price guarantee. So if you book a trip and anytime within the next 60 days after you book that trip, if the trip goes on sale or the price goes down, they will match it. So they will credit your account. And that's really cool because it's happened to me a couple of times where I booked a trip because, again, I try to book them as far out as humanly possible. And then within 60 days, they had a sale and I got the difference. So that's been really cool. Should I have EF Ultimate Break book my flights? This is a loaded question and I could probably do a whole video on it. So instead, I'm just going to go over the pros and cons with you. EF Ultimate Break is partnered with a variety of airlines. And so airlines like American, Delta, United, the big names, they are partnered with. And so when you book your trip with EF Ultimate Break, they will use one of those to book your flight, and they are partnered with them so that they get special deals. They do have a flight budget. So if you're trying to book the flight on your own, you might notice like, hey, the flight that I'm looking into is cheaper than their flight budget. Or, hey, the flight that I really want is more expensive than what they're saying their flight budget is. It kind of all really balances out for me in the end. One of the things that I really like about having EF book my flights is that I can wrap up that flight into a payment plan instead of having to drop money right then and there. Now, if you do have enough points to book your own flights, then by all means, use those points, right? You don't have to have EF book your flight. Another thing that I really, really like is that they provide the round trip transportation. So once you get into the country, they will pick you up from the airport and get you to your first hotel. And then when you're leaving the country, they will put you in either a taxi or on a bus to the airport. And I really like not having to worry about this because it really stresses me out when I get into a country and I'm like, oh no, I have to find a taxi, I have to pay for a taxi, I don't know how far it is to my accommodation. So I like not having to worry about that. I will say that I live in a large city, so I usually have like one layover. I'm from the West, so I usually have one layover in the Midwest or on the East Coast, and then I get to my destination. However, some people have had 2 layovers before, and some people aren't a fan of that. So if you want to just book your own flight, then go for it. That way you'll know. You also don't know your flight information until about 30 days out. Now, I will say once you have that flight information, you can go ahead and log in, pick your seats, upgrade your seats if you want, add your like rewards number with the airline. You can do all of that, but you won't know until 30 days out. So if you want to know before then, just book your own flight. What's the difference between Plus versus Essential, and when should I book Plus and when should I book Essential? So Essential trips are going to be usually hostel or hostel-like accommodations where you are sharing a room with multiple people. I have been on Essential trips, and this can be anywhere from like 2 roommates, and the most that I've ever had is 9 roommates, but it wildly depends. I will also say that on Essential trips, they say you're going to be staying in hostels, but I would say that I stayed in a hostel about 60% of the time, and like low budget hotels like 40% of the time. And I didn't always have the amount of roommates that they said I was going to have. A lot of times it was actually less. Plus trips, you only stay in hotels and you only have 1 roommate. Plus trips usually also include a little bit more, like maybe some more excursions, maybe some more meals. I will say that I have liked Essential trips because actually having multiple roommates has allowed me to make more friends with EF. It's really easy to like be in the loop when you're rooming with multiple people. But also, if you're traveling with more than 1 person and you want to be able to room with all of them, then definitely booking an Essential trip is the way to go. If you can put up with hostels, I really don't think that they're that bad. It's a place to sleep. You're going to be like, go, go, go. They are generally cheaper than the Plus trips because you are staying in hostels. So if you want to save a bit of money, go for the Essential. If you are worried about your accommodations, if you are like, I really need to be in a hotel, if you are traveling with a partner or like a really good friend and you just want to have your own room, then Plus is the way to go. A lot of people ask me what a really good first trip is, and I can't really say because it depends largely on your situation. How well traveled are you? Where have you gone before? Really, the best first trip is the one that you've had your eye on. EF Ultimate Break has like over 120 destinations. So you can pick. I would say some of the more popular trips are all of the ones that go to Europe. I've definitely heard good things about Costa Rica as a first trip or any of the Central America trips, but really it just depends on you. If you're more well-traveled and you want to go to a place like Egypt or Kenya where you're like, yeah, I really don't want to do that on my own, then go for it. It just depends. My first trip was the Grand Tour of Ireland and I absolutely loved it. At that point, I had been pretty well traveled, but I didn't even expect to like Ireland. So I had a really great time though. It's short, it's quite affordable. And so I always recommend that as a really good first introduction to group travel and EF Ultimate Break. All right, checked bag, carry-on. It just really depends on you. Most of the trips, if not all of the trips, if you have EF Book Your Flights for you, will include a checked bag, a carry-on, and a personal item. I always do a checked bag and a backpack if I can. It's just never really been an issue. I've always had someone like picking me up directly from the airport, taking me to where I need to go, picking me up from my hotel, dropping me off right where I need to go. I've not really had many experiences where I've had to drag my luggage through the streets like you normally would if you book a trip on your own. So overpacking has not really been an issue for me. I've even seen people bring checked and carry-ons. It just depends on what you want to put up with, if I'm being honest. I have never had an issue with doing a large checked bag and a backpack. It's really, really, really personal preference at this point. Just know that it's probably not really going to be an issue if you decide to bring a checked bag. Should I go solo or should I go with friends? This largely depends. I did my first EF Ultimate Break trip with my friend. It was 9 days. We were very close friends. We ended up making a ton of friends. My second EF Ultimate Break trip, I was literally gone for 5 weeks straight. I knew absolutely nobody. I thought it was a really good opportunity to make friends on my own. And then I've done a mixture of like trips where I go on my own, trips where I go with friends from home or from college or from where I'm from, like people I know in real life outside of EF. And then more recently, I've been doing a lot of tours with people that I met on previous EF Ultimate Break tours and then in the future. So my advice to you is if you're scared to book the trip alone, like if you're scared to go alone, you are going to make friends. I don't care if you are extroverted, introverted, a mixture of both. There is no way that you could possibly leave an EF Ultimate Break tour with 0 friends. I've never seen it happen. I just think that you're going to be surrounded by people your age who want to be traveling to the place you're traveling. Like, it's just so hard not to make friends. I'm serious. And then you'll continue to travel with those friends, so don't worry about it at all. If you have friends that want to go with you, that's absolutely great too. What I find is that I usually book the trip, tell people I'm going on the trip, and then all my friends are like, wait, I want to go with you. So maybe if you take that first plunge, your friends will be like, okay, I'll book with you. So if you want to go with a partner, there are tons of couples who go on trips. Like if you want to go with a group of friends, that happens too. So it really depends on your situation. Last question, I promise. Is it worth it? The answer is yes. 1,000 times yes. Booking with EF Ultimate Break literally changed my life. I don't want to say that to be dramatic. I really, really, really don't, but it's true. I lived a life where I wanted to travel so badly, but I could never find anyone to go with me. The people that were in my life just didn't place the same priority on travel as I did. And when I found this company, it just unlocked something within me. I am able to go on the trips that I want when I want to. I'm able to make payments. I made so many friends that I now travel with again and again and even visit in the United States, friends that I talk to every day, lifelong friends. I've had so many wonderful and positive experiences. It's opened new doors for me. I learned so much about other people, other cultures, and the world. And I just feel like I've become such a well-rounded person, more well-rounded person since traveling. So I say yes, okay? So I hope that that answers all of your questions. If it does not, leave a comment below and I will do my best to answer your question. You can also connect with me on my socials and DM me. I'm always more than happy to help. Please, 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 if you are booking your first trip with EF Ultimate Break, please use the link in the description to book. You will get $100 off. It helps me as a teacher be able to travel the world and afford to be able to travel the world. So it would mean the world to me. Again, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. And if you feel like subscribing, I'm definitely going to be posting more EF Ultimate Break content. So I'll see you later.